Hello, everyone, and welcome to another evening of stamping. My name is Sarah Simon. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Appleton, Wisconsin. And boy, is it beautiful here today. The rain is gone. The rain cooled things off a little bit. The humidity is gone, and it's actually a beautiful sunny and cooler day. Oh my goodness, so many of you have jumped on here already. Hello, Julie and Joan and Amanda and Mary and Becky, Kathy, Denise, Linda, Nancy, Angelique, Karen, Sarah, Mary, Sonia, Jeanne, Sarah New, Kathy Kessler. I think I said you already, and Kate. So thank you all for jumping on. I'm losing track of who I said hello to. There's so many of you. That's awesome. Guess what tonight is going to be? A creative challenge. I decided as I was planning yesterday, I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to be live next week because I'm not sure how I'm going to be feeling after my surgery. And so I think it's time for a creative challenge. If I do go live next week, great. If I don't, you guys will have 2 weeks to put together a card that is the same fold that I'm using tonight. And if you do that, you can be entered into drawing to win the bundle of your choice. So I thought that that would be kind of fun considering I'm going into surgery and I don't know if I'm going to be here next week. So hello, Joan. Thanks for joining me too. All right. We are going to first look at my happy mail. I think I'm going to do that first. I just realized I don't have my list here of who won, but I think I remembered. Okay, so this right here is from Tammy Litsky. Look at how gorgeous that is. It's not a normal A2 size card. It's a little bit smaller, but she put it in just like a regular envelope, and it's just a little bit smaller. It's so cute. Perfect size for a quick little thank you note that you wanted to get in the mail. And then I also received this from Jean Maxwell. Jean's on here in Arizona. Look at how beautiful that is. I love that set and that paper. And then on the inside, she has more of the designer paper. And she was thanking me for sharing. And I picked her name. I don't remember. Oh, well, I know what you won. You won the last creative challenge, Jean. And you got a bundle. All right, then I received this beautiful card. Look at that. This comes from not my upline, but my upline's upline in Stampin' Up, Ann Hubner, and she was congratulating me that I was number 6 in sales for the Stampin' Annie Stampers. That's her group for the third quarter. So thank you to all of you that helped me. I did have a really good third quarter. It was actually a really good one. So thank you to all of you that helped me with that, with all your orders. Then I received these 2 beautiful cards from Joan. And I love this. She said her husband of 48 years is 100% disabled Vietnam vet. And she spends most of her time caring for him. So she's thanking me for bringing sunshine to her through my videos. And that makes me so happy. That makes all the work that I put in to try to give you something each week worth it when I hear stuff like that. And she said she doesn't have a lot of Stampin' Up paper, but I don't care. Look at how beautiful this card is. And then she had a second one in there. Look at this. Just gorgeous. So thank you so much for that, Joan. I appreciate it. All right. Then we have some prizes to give away. Hello, Elsa. I'm glad that you got to catch me live as well. So last week we made this card with the changing leaves, and we used that oxidized paper with the pretty peacock. And we decided that we were going to do the pretty peacock. I also had done it with the vanilla. I don't know where that is right now, but we had also done it with I had done it previously with vanilla. Hello, Betty. And then we also used the sophisticated sled. And this was a little bit of a fun fold here. And receiving these for commenting. So anytime you comment, like just saying hello, letting me know where you're from, you get entered into a drawing. Now, I don't know if, I don't think I have this person's because I'm not exactly sure who it is. It says Carol Peterhan. So I don't know Hans, I think. I'm not sure if that's a Carol and Peter, like a husband and wife, wife and husband, or if that's a last name. So if you see this, Carol, if you could let me know your ad name and address, and if you could either email that to me at a create with Sarah LLC at Gmail, or you can send it in a private message to me on Facebook, whatever works for you. But if you get that to me, I will get it in the mail to you. Then for sharing, so anytime you share, whether you email the link to somebody, you share it on Facebook, you whatever you do, you also get entered into a drawing. Please write shared like some of the people did. Let's see right now. I see that Sarah has shared, Sonia has shared, Gian has shared. So if you write that you shared, you get entered into a drawing as well. And receiving a pack of these pecan pie and clear ribboned adhesive back dots, these are just absolutely gorgeous, is Gian Collar. So Gian, I do have your address, so I will get those out in the mail to you. And then for placing an order, so I do have a host code. Let me get that here for you. That is my new host code through the end of August. And receiving this is going to be in the new catalog, Winterly Treetops. I happen to have been able to, today when I put my pre-order in, I was able to order an extra one of these with my bonus money. And so I did get another one of these. And receiving this for placing an order last week is Kay Veneprin. So Kay, I will get that out in the mail to you. So thank you all for however you support, whether it's making comments, sharing to spread the word. I am up to so many, I forgot how many subscribers I have. Like I had 12 when I started during the pandemic, and now I'm up to well over 500. So that's awesome. And it's all because you guys are helping me by sharing. So I really, really appreciate that. All right. This is live for demonstrators right now. We can pre-order a limited amount. It will be live for customers starting on September 4th, and it runs until January 6th. I will let you know that one of the complaints that the demonstrators had was that there was no Halloween stuff in here. Well, on the online exclusives, Stampin' Up! Released 4 stamp sets, 2 that have Halloween themes, one that has pumpkins that we used, that changing leaves, which we used. And so there are some fall and Halloween things that they put in the online exclusives. Because this doesn't start until September 4th, if when it opens on September 4th, it becomes really, really popular and it goes on back order, and then it's on back order for a couple of weeks, fall and Halloween are going to be over with before they can replace it. So they made a decision that their fall things would be coming in the online exclusives. Now you might be saying there's no Halloween paper. If you've seen the catalog, there is no Halloween paper though in the online exclusive. If you really love Halloween, that will be coming on September 3rd. Stampin' Up! Is going to be releasing some scrapbooking products that will have some DSP, some designer paper that has a fall theme, that has a Halloween theme to it. So that is coming. It will be coming in the beginning of September. So just so you know that. We are going to be doing a Halloween card today as one of my sample cards, just to kind of get us a little bit in the mood. Oh my goodness, we had a lot of other people jump on here. Let's see. I don't think I said hello to Barbara or to Mickey. Mickey, I think you might be new. I don't remember seeing you here before, but welcome from South Carolina. Hopefully you guys are doing okay with all the rain from Tropical Storm. Holy cow, that's just awful. With this mini catalog, I just wanted to let you know that if you have placed an order with me in the last 6 months, you will be getting one of these delivered to you. Either I'll hand deliver it to you or I'll send it in the mail. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you don't know how to get your hands on one of these catalogs, just shoot me an email and let me know that you would like one of the catalogs, and I will make sure that you get that catalog so that you can take a look at all the awesome things. I should have my catalogs by next week, and then I'll be getting them off to you. I ordered them. Today was the first day that we could order those. So sometimes I order them through Stampin' Up! And have them sent. Then I never know when they're going to be sending them. So I just decided this year I was going to do the sending myself. So I should be getting those next week. Just a reminder that if you did purchase anything in the month of July and you received a bonus coupon, those coupons were sent to you via email right after you place the order. So go back and look. I think it's if you do a search for bonus days, you should be able to find them. There is a spot when you're placing an order where it says add coupons, and you just go ahead and copy and paste those numbers and letters into there and hit apply, and it will take that up. And you can put more than one in an order. This morning I put maybe 10 of them in with my order. So I got $50 off of my order this morning. So that was awesome. We also do have, it started today, I'm sorry, is our designer series paper is 15% off. So I know it's hard to find the designer series paper in our new catalog because it's not all in one location. Let me go ahead and change my camera here. And let me show you an easy way to find that in the annual catalog. So if you go to the back index, there's a part right here that says paper and packaging. So it has cards and envelope, the card stock, and then it has listed all of the designer series papers. Now, not all of these are on sale. So the color packs, like this one right here that we're going to be using tonight. I'll turn my overhead light off in a little bit so you get rid of those shadows. So in the brights, the neutrals, the in colors, the subtles, these packs are not on sale. Okay, but anything else like the Bright and Beautiful, that is 15% off. The Country Lace, 15% off. The Country Woods, and it tells you what page you can find that on. So if you're like, oh, Country Woods, I'm not quite sure what that is, you can go ahead and you can find that there. The oxidized copper, those are not on sale. So it's just the regular designer paper, like the 6x6, the oh gosh, the Lily Pond Lane is on sale. The Mediterranean Blooms is on sale. Let's see here, Take to the Sky. All of those are 15% off right now. And you can use your coupons that you have. So it's actually a pretty good deal that you have. So I wanted to at least point that out to you. Let me turn my overhead light off because see all those shadows? Let's get rid of them. All right, that should do the trick. Look at like that, just like magic, it is gone. All right, so we are going to have a fun fold that is going to be our creative challenge for you're going to have 2 weeks. So not next week Tuesday, but the week after, which would put us at the 20th, I believe. No, yes, I think it's the 20th. On that day, by noon, you have to submit a picture of the card that you made with this fold. And if you do that, you will be put into a drawing. And then the person that wins will be able to choose a bundle from anything that is live right now. So it can be online exclusives. It can be from the catalog. And I will order that and send it to you. So if you would like to wait until the catalog goes live, the new mini catalog goes live, and you want to pick something out of there, you can also do that. I'm fine with that. All right, so this fun fold is, I'm not sure if it's one that I've ever done on a video before. And if it is, it's been a really, really long time since I've done it. And so we're going to do it again. All right, so we are going to start the first card that I'm going to make. I'm going to make 2 of them using the same fold. We're going to play with the playful ghosts. Get it? Ha ha. So these are really cute. So we've got a ghost dressed up as a witch as a little Dracula and coming out of a pumpkin. And I thought this one was really cute. The potions and spells, I think it's called. I'm just not into all the ghoulish part of Halloween. I like the cute part of Halloween. I don't know why. So this one spoke to me a little bit more than the other one. So this is the Halloween set that I ended up getting. So we're going to be using that today. This is one of those online exclusives. We are also going to be using paper that comes from the Brights collection. Now, this is not on sale. Yeah, Amanda, I love those cute little ghosts too. So this is all of the bright colors. So we've got every bright color here has 2 sheets of this design and 2 sheets of the other design, and they are 2-sided. So you do get 4 different patterns, and you get basically 2 sheets of each one in each of the colors. So I love these. When I'm looking, when I don't have something, I don't have a stamp set that necessarily has paper, I tend to pull these, and that's what I did today. I'm going to show you how to cut so that each one of these cards is going to use 1 full piece, well, almost a full piece of cardstock. So if you have an 8.5 by 11, I'm going to show you how to cut this so that you can get your card out of here. So the first thing is in your 5.5, you're going to cut this to 5.5 by 11. So since this is 8.5 by 11, I'm going to cut along the top at 5.5. Let me go ahead and get that there. Okay, I'm going to set this aside because I need to use this part yet. Okay, I'm going to turn it on the 11-inch side, and every 1 3/4 inches, I'm going to score. So I'm going to start at 1 3/4, and I'm going to score there. So my light gray on my trimmer is the scoring blade. You could also put this in the scoring tool. So then 3.5 is the next one. Okay, and then 5 1/4. And then I have to put my arm out here. And this has to go out to 7. Okay, so that's going to be our card base. All of those things scored. Right? Then I'm going to bring this piece back with the piece that's here. So this was 8.5 and I cut off 5.5. So this is 3 inches that I have left. So I need to be 3 inches, and then I have to cut it to 6 inches. So this is all I have left for a scrap. So if I need to die cut anything, I could use that to die cut anything. I don't in this case. And then I'm going to score this at 3 inches. Okay, so we've got this piece, and I'm going to put this away until I need to make my second card so that I can show you how to do that again. So you don't have to completely rewind it. All right, then we have basic white. This measures 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Now, normally these are 4 by 5 1/4, but our card itself, this is only 4 inches wide. So I'm going to do it 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. All right. Then I'm also going to have, and I think I forgot to cut a piece of this. So I'm going to have to, yeah, I did. I forgot to cut. All of a sudden I realized I don't think I cut the pumpkin pie. All right. So I used the pumpkin pie pattern, and I liked these little circles. I thought that that was really, really cute. So you need to have 4 different strips that measure 1.5 by 5 1/4. In the both cards that I'm making, I took 2 different patterns, and I cut 2 of each of them. So I've got 2 of the Daffodil Delight in the stripes, and I have 2 of the pumpkin pie in the little circles. So it doesn't matter. You could even, if you didn't want to use designer series paper, you could use cardstock, just use a different color than the black, and you could go ahead and emboss it if you wanted to. Or you could make your own designer paper by stamping in the background of it. I thought about stamping Boo, or there's like a little bat. I thought about doing that on these, but I decided to keep them just plain. All right. Then this is the piece that I have to cut yet because I forgot. So here's a piece of pumpkin pie, and this has to be 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Okay, and you need 2 of those. So I have 2 of those. Nothing like cutting everything while you're here watching. And then I need 2 pieces of basic white that measure 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. Okay, so I'm going to stamp on these, and I'm going to stamp on the white, and I'm going to set everything else to the side right now while I do some stamping. All right. Whew. Karen, it's okay that you're late. I'm just kind of getting started, and I'm going to be doing all these dimensions again because this is a creative challenge. So I will be doing these all again. Look at this. I was helping my dad. He came over to my house and he was putting some, I think it was called limestone. It was in like a caulk gun between my driveway and my garage. And he was working so hard. I'm like, can I help you? So I was helping him, and I tried to wash it off, and I couldn't get it washed off. It's kind of like paint. I don't know. All right, so we're going to stamp these kind of fun and cute. So let's get our stamps in here. I really liked the little ghost coming out of the pumpkin. So I'm using that. I'm also using, there was a stamp that had 2 little pumpkins on it, and I could not find my masking paper. So I took this is a Post-it, and I stamped it on the Post-it, and I cut that out because we're going to do some masking on there. All right, let's start with this. So let me bring this in just so I can show you what this is going to look like. So this is going to be folded in half. Then we're going to fold these back, accordion like that. This paper is going to go in here. So what I wanted a little greeting peeking out down here, and also a little bit of fun to go with that. So what I decided to do is I'm going to put the Happy Halloween down there. I know this says white, but I ordered a white pad, and then I took the re-inker from the Memento, and I inked it up with Memento because our white craft ink pads come empty. There's nothing on them. It just comes with a re-inker of the white ink. So I just have one of them that has black. So if you're wondering, where did she get that with the foam? That's what I did. I just ordered a white one and put re-inker on it. All right, so I'm going to stand up so that I can get this straight. That looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to put up in the corner here that little bat. And then I thought it would be fun to run those across the top up here. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of something to the inside of my card. All right, this is going to go in between here like this. So the fold is going to be on the right-hand side. Whoops, let me get in the camera here a little bit. So we're going to have one little picture for on here and one for on the inside when we open that up. So on the outside, like I said, I thought this little ghost coming out of the jack-o'-lantern was just too cute not to use. Okay, so we're going to put that down there. And then I think I'm going to take those bats and put a few of them, or one of them up there. We're going to do something else with greetings on this one. Okay. Then for the inside, thanks for sharing, Karen. We're going to take our pumpkins, and I'm going to stamp them. I'm going to stand up again. I should just stay standing while I'm stamping. Stamp one there. Then I'm going to cover this up. Now, when you're cutting this out, of your Post-it. Normally when I fussy cut, I like to leave a little bit of a border. When you're not fussy cutting, you want to cut right up to the line or maybe even a little bit inside the line. And now when I take this off, look at that. I've got 4 little pumpkins instead of 2. And we're going to stamp our greeting, trick or treat. And then I think we need another one of those little bats. This time we'll put it up in the upper right-hand corner. All right, we have almost all the stamping done. I took a 1/2 inch wide piece of Daffodil Delight because that's going to be one of the colors that I color with for the glow coming out of the jack-o'-lantern. And on here, I'm going to type the word, or type, I'm going to stamp the greeting boo. I think I might have to re-ink this. There we go. Just maybe don't have it very even. All right, I'm going to close this then because otherwise I'm going to end up with my hand in it or cardstock or something. All right, we need to do some coloring on all of this. So I'm going to start with my jack-o'-lantern and pumpkins, and I'm using pumpkin pie. That's the color that I used for this designer paper, and I'm using both the dark and the light, and I'm going to start with the dark, and I'm using the bullet point, and what I'm really going to just do is I'm going to go over all of these lines for the pumpkin. And because I don't want this to completely dry before I can blend it, I'm going to do the bottom part of the pumpkin, and then I'm going to go back up to that top part and do that after. Because while this is still kind of a little bit wet, I'm going to come in here with the light, and I'm going to blend that dark and that light together. Make sure that I'm staying outside of the mouth and staying outside of the eyes. I want to take that ink and spread the darker stuff in with the lighter stuff so that those lines aren't quite as pronounced, but it still gives definition to your pumpkin. So that looks like that. So you can still kind of see those lines, but I blended them as best I can with the lighter marker. Okay, I'm going to do that same thing along the top and then for those pumpkins as well. So I'm going to come up here, just kind of do some dark and then go over it and blend in the light. And I'm going to leave this, I'm going to color that in yellow because that would kind of be the inside of the pumpkin, which is quite a bit lighter than the outside. All right, let's go ahead. Tomorrow I have to do a STEM activity with all of our kids that are in our CARES program for their summer because their parents work. So it's kind of like daycare for them, but at school. So they try to do some educational things for them as well, besides just field trips and, you know, playing all day. So we're doing, the older kids are making, they're going to get in 5 groups. There's 14 of them. They're going to get into 5 groups, and each group is going to make a mini golf hole. And then they're going to be able to go golfing at each other's holes and keep track of their scores. So I thought it would be kind of fun to kind of build that. I've got a whole bunch of cardboard that they can put as different things. Their theme for CARES is the Olympics. So everything has been sports related that I've done this summer. So the middle-aged kids that are there are going to be doing something with basketball. And then I couldn't come up with anything for our little preschool kids. So they're going to be using some of our robots and doing some stuff. I couldn't come up with anything. And then these leaves I'm going to do with a little granny apple green. Whoops. And we'll do that. These are just so cute. All right. Then I'm going to take our dark Daffodil Delight and I'm going to do the outside part of each of those eyes. And then I'm going to take the light daffodil and do color in the inside. So there's our yellow. Do some yellow here. And then in this, where these little bats are, there's some little stars and they're open. So I thought it would be fun to put a little bit of yellow, just kind of put a couple of dots in there. And I'm going to do the same thing on these. So just add a little bit of yellow. It's hard to color it in completely, so I just kind of add a couple of dots and it looks like it's colored in. All right. Then I took our light pool party, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run that around the outside of this ghost to kind of make like a, almost like a shadow that, you know, he's white. So we're just going to go ahead and outline him. I do that a lot when something is supposed to be white, just kind of outline it in blue, and it just kind of gives it a little bit of, you can kind of see that it's the ghost or whatever, the shadow. Hi, Patty. All right, so we have everything done that we need with our stamps. And I need this blend again, so I'm going to put that one away, but I'm going to take those and get those out of my way. I'm going to bring this ribbon back. I'm going to need that. Oh, and I'm going to need this as well. All right, so we took our card. We folded it on that last line so that it was folded kind of in half. Then we started going back and forward. We did like an accordion fold on this side. And we're going to give that a really good burnish with our bone folder so that it will lay pretty flat. I'm going to do this one as well. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing, give this a burnish. All right, these fun little things that we colored are going to get layered on those pumpkin pie squares. Hi, Mary. And they're just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So it's just a real tiny little pumpkin pie border around there. I couldn't decide if I wanted to do the yellow and the orange, or if I wanted to do the granny apple green and the orange. And I kind of liked how the yellow turned out. So I kept both of them with yellow. I was going to maybe, I'm like, well, if I don't really like the yellow, I could always change it to granny apple green, but I kind of liked it. So I left the daffodil. Yellow is my favorite color. The kids can never guess it in school. They're like pink, purple, red, blue. It's always the last thing that they guess. I think green is probably something that they guess after yellow, but it's one of the last things they guess. Okay, so now you want your fold to be on the right-hand side, and then this is going to be the front. This is going to be the inside. So I want my little ghost coming out of the pumpkin on the front. So again, the fold is going to be on the right-hand side. And then I'm going to flip this over and we're going to put our inside piece right there. Okay, so that's going to go like that. So when you open it, you're going to see it like that. Mickey, yellow is your favorite color too. It's just so bright and cheery, right? Okay, so now we're going to add these layers. And I alternated. I did two orange. I did an orange and then a yellow and then an orange and a yellow. You could also, if you wanted to, do your two oranges on the end and your two yellows in the middle. You could also have these be all of the same designer paper if you want. Or like I said, I could have just picked, instead of this designer paper in yellow, I could have just done yellow cardstock, or I could have done pumpkin pie cardstock, and maybe I wanted to emboss it with something, or maybe I wanted to stamp these bats all over one of them and make kind of like a background paper, or maybe I wanted to stamp the word boo on the paper. There's so many different things that you could do with these layers. So the sky is the limit. You don't have to use designer paper like I do if you do this creative challenge. Hi, Marge. This is a creative challenge, so you're going to want to probably participate. Let me go ahead. I don't have this down a little bit. See the snail? If you don't do the snail plus, if you do, or not snail, seal, and you can lift it up usually. So look at that. Isn't that fun paper? Now we're going to close this. And now we want to put glue just on each of these ends. So I'm just going to run a strip here. And if you wanted to, you could use our tear and tape to make it a little bit sturdier. This actually will hold it. You just have to hold it in place a little bit longer to make sure that it sticks good. But I'm going to slide this underneath here so that this is going completely under there. I'm going to center this where I want it. And then I'm going to go ahead and press it down. And now when I open it, oh, it's going to open like that. Okay. Now we've got to go ahead and decorate this a little bit. So these little boos that I stamped, I'm just going to cut them. Cut this one a little bit shorter yet. Okay, we're going to take some dimensionals. Whoops, one. It's so funny. My mom sent me a card on Facebook, and it was a fold that I had never seen before. It was a gate fold along with an accordion fold. It like the gate fold opened, and then it was like accordion inside. And I'm like, oh, that's what I'm doing for a creative challenge. Well, then last night when I got home, I'm like, oh, Dina Rico's on at 5 o'clock, and it was a little bit late. So I'm like, well, I'll still catch the end of it. Well, wasn't she using that? And she was doing it as her monthly creative challenge. And I'm like, it looks like I'm copying her if I do it. So I decided I will save that fold for another week and we'll do something different. So I pulled out this fold instead, and we're just going to put boo in a couple of different areas here. All right. I'm also going to take some of this is our, it's actually very vanilla and black. And because this is white, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the white part out. I'm going to color it with pumpkin pie so that this is actually going to be pumpkin pie and black. Now, when you're doing that with your ribbon, a couple of things. I see a lot of times people take the brush end and they do it. It's going to do damage to your brush end, and how your end can be like, and it has a really nice point like that. If you start running back and forth with your marker on this, it's really going to do a lot of damage to that. it's much better on it. This is a much firmer tip. And so just to try to save your markers a little bit, I would use that bullet point that's a little bit firmer, and then just go ahead and color in. You don't want to ruin your markers, right? Because then you have to sit and replace all of those. I use mine for classes and I have to replace them a lot. I have some that look really, really bad. And it's not that people are abusing them when they come to my house. It's just that with a lot of different people using them and taking covers off and putting covers back on and doing all of that kind of stuff, it's really easy when you're putting these covers on to accidentally hit the tip and it kind of separates, or, oh, the color's kind of wearing out. And so someone's having to press really hard to be able to get any color out. And it kind of doesn't do well with the tips either when you're pressing really hard. So I would just, so this goes, you can see the color goes through. The only thing that it doesn't really go through is that little stitching on the end. So I always turn it over and I color in that stitching. You're probably thinking, where in the world is she going to put that ribbon? Now, I want to let you know that coloring the ribbon like this does not work with our regular Stampin' Write markers. It doesn't bleed through like the Stampin' Blends do. So I just want to make sure that you know that too. So if you have regular markers and you go to try to do this, the other thing that you could do is you can take like your ink pad and you could like go over it with your ink pad as well. I just find I like the control that I have with the blends and how I can really make the color even. And so that's why I always choose to use my blends if I'm coloring ribbon. And not all ribbon colors really well, so you should test like a little portion of it and see, does this look good when it's colored or not? So I'm using my bow maker because I really wanted a small bow this time and I colored way more than I needed. Let's see, we're going to cut that off. And then we'll take a glue dot. And I'm just going to set that right above the little jack-o'-lantern and just kind of give it a little fun piece there. And then I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and we're going to make that jack-o'-lantern glow. So the eyes and the mouth. And then I'm also going to just kind of put a dot where all of these stars are, because we can make those glow a little bit as well. Okay, so it just takes like a little dot. You want to make sure you've got enough glitter in your in the little chamber of your brush. So there is our first card, and I was going to stamp something on the envelope. I think what I'm going to do, let me bring my stamps back here. Let's stamp our pumpkins. On the front, and then on the flap, let's do, we'll just do a whole bunch of bats here. Okay, and then I'm going to take a little piece of paper. I've got some Post-its here. I'm just going to rip off the Post-it card on top. I'm going to stick this inside of here so that my ink doesn't go through to the back. And we'll just do the exact same thing that we did on the inside. We'll just go ahead and do our stripes. And then we'll color that in. Okay, again, blend in those lines. And we'll get our green again. Granny apple green. And then on the back, I'm going to take this paper out. So see, now the ink didn't go all the way through to the back. And now we'll just take our Daffodil Delight and just dot those stars again to bring a little bit of the yellow. Oh, look at this. I have one little shadow there. And I think I might just put one more here yet. Color that in. And we're all set to go. We've got an envelope. Actually, you know what? I brought a few gems here as well. I'm going to keep my black is going to keep out for the next card. I did bring some of our sparkle gems. There's black in there, which I thought, ooh, sparkle, sparkle, right? Depends on who you're giving it to, probably, if you want to add this. Put the pumpkin back in here. Then I'm just going to take one big one and one little one and just add a little bit in that corner because I had the boo up in this corner. I just felt like that was missing just a little bit of something there. So there is our first card. It's a Halloween one. This is going to be our fold. That will be for our creative challenge. I don't even know what it's called. An accordion pop out, maybe. I don't know. We'll give it a name. I probably should have looked to see what the name was. I think if I remember correctly, was it Lynn Dunn maybe that I got this from? And it was, she did a Halloween set from 2 years ago. And that's where I kind of got this from. And so I'm like, oh, Halloween set. I'm going to do that. So the first card I did was a Halloween card. The next one's going to be something different. So, but we're going to do the same fold again so that you can see it. And then you will be able to hopefully make something on your own. So there's our card one. I'm just going to set it aside and get rid of all of this and bring my paper trimmer back in here again. And oh, thank you guys for all your nice comments about the card. Yeah, I thought I had fun making it. I thought it turned out cute too. I loved the stamp set. So out of all of the stamp sets for Halloween, well, there were two that were kind of Halloween themed. That was my favorite because I am more of a cutesy type Halloween person than I am a spooky Halloween person. All right, let's go back to our next one. So this is Granny Apple Green that we're going to use for our next one. And so the first thing that we have to do, whoops, you don't need my host code. Wrong one. We need to cut along the 8.5 inch side. We need to cut at 5.5. So I'm going to cut that. And then on this long side, I'm going to score every 1 3/4 inches. So we've got 1 3/4, 3.5, 5 1/4, and then 7, which if this is 11, that's the same as 4 in the other direction. So I'm just going to do 4 in the other direction if you're okay with that. Because 7 and 4 makes 11, which is that width. So then I don't have to bring the arm out. Okay, then let me get my scoring tool back in there. What's left is 3 inches, and we're going to cut that at 6 inches and then score it at 3 inches for our other piece, that open up piece. Okay, so that's going to be our open up piece. Here's our accordion fold part. I can put this away. I think I have all the parts. Yeah, I do. Okay. The stamp set, I didn't even show you the stamp set that we're going to use. These are the colors we're going to use. Pretty in pink, Granny Apple Green, a little Old Olive, a little Petal Pink, and the stamp set we're using. Where's my stamp set? I don't have the stamp set here. Let me grab it. Might have it out already. I maybe just didn't put it on my thing. Here we go. What do you think it is? Sweet peas. We're going to make a birthday card, and we're going to use the pea that has the little pea with the birthday hat. And then this one has a little birthday hat. So that's what we're going to use for our card today. So I just love this sweet peas. It's so cute. All right. So let's see what we're going to use for paper. So the designer paper that I used, okay, so that second piece, let me just put this on here for you, was 3x6, and I scored it at 3. I have my inside layer that measures 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then I have my designer paper, and I used designer paper again. This time I used, this is from the Lily Pad Lake. I think it's Lily Pond Lake. I used 2 of the Petal Pink, and these each measure 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. And then from that Brights, instead of this side where we had the little circles in our pumpkin pie, I'm going to use actually this side. I thought that that was kind of cute with that. All right. I also looked at possibly using something that was in the zinnias paper, and I did the same thing for the pumpkin. I first started out, I can show you, I was going to use this for that. Where is it? Right here. Since there were little stars in there, I was going to use this paper, which comes from that zinnia paper. But then I kind of liked, I didn't know how I liked the yellow in there. I kind of liked how the orange and the yellow were each their own separate color. So I decided against it, but you can use whatever you want for designer paper. All right. And then we have 2 squares that are 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And that I have in Pretty in Pink. And then we have our 2 squares that are 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. Now, if you want to reimagine this and you want to do something different than what I do, you want, like, maybe this isn't a big enough size for what you want to do for the front of your card, you could always make that a little bit bigger if you wanted to. I cut it this way because that way I'm only using one piece of designer series paper or one sheet of cardstock. If you make this bigger, you would end up having to use a second sheet of cardstock. So that's why I did mine the way that I did. I also have a scrap of white, and I did cut some of this paper to decorate my envelope. We'll do that at the end. Okay, so let's do our stamping first. So on the front, I am going to stamp our little pea guy. Now I did get a swap from Ruth. Let me look. Ruth Norton, and I'll show you her card afterwards. It's a fun fold as well, and it's really, really cute. But what I did for my stamping for my card is very similar to the card that she gave me because I just absolutely loved it. So I put it in a different layout. I used a little bit different paper than she did, but I mean, I got the idea pretty much from her. So, hi, Sandy. Yeah, I'm having my gallbladder removed. So it's not major surgery. So on Friday, my mom's taking me there about 5:30 in the morning. The surgery scheduled for 7:10. They said I should be done by 8:30, and I should be in recovery for about an hour, and then I just have to keep food down, have my pain under control, and go to the bathroom. And then they will release me to go home. And then I'm going to stay at my mom and dad's. So Lila and I will stay there for the night. Okay, so I'm just stamping 2 of these little, they have 2 little different size. We're going to use this leaf too, but I took the smaller one and I stamped that. And then I'm going to take some Granny Apple Green, and here it is. We're going to take the happy birthday, and we're going to stamp that right up in the corner. What? Isn't that cute? Happy birthday. All right, then on this one, we are going to stamp the group of the pea pods. Okay, and then just like we did in the last one, I went ahead and covered that because I want this to be in my forefront and my background I stamp after. So I'm going to stamp a little bit of these leaves as well. So I'm going to come over here and stamp some there. I don't know if that's exactly where I wanted that, but it'll work. I'm going to do them there. Let me see how that looks. I don't really like that. Let's do that over. Let's see here. We'll do our pea pod. Kind of did that at an angle. We're going to cover it up. I just felt like I needed to cover a little bit more of the space here. Let's have it go this way instead. Like that. I like that better. And then let's go like that. That looks better. I'm glad I re-stamped it. All right, we are done with this. I'm gonna take this white, and I already put my greeting up there. I'm not going to put another greeting on. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm going to take this bigger greenery and I am going to stamp that around the edge of my white piece. So I'm just adding a little bit of this along the edge to add a little bit of that greenery. So that's what's going to show through on the other side. All right, now I'm done with all of this. And put that away. And let's go ahead. This we don't have to do anything with. These we have to color. All right, so the pea, I'm going to use the Granny Apple Green. I'm going to use some of the dark and the light. I think this is the light and this is the dark. Yep. And I'm just going to kind of go around the edge with some of the dark, like so. And then I'm going to take the light, just like I did with the pumpkin, and I'm going to kind of swirl that in so that I can kind of spread it out and blend it into the rest of the pea. Okay, so see how that just gives it like a different shade, a little bit of colors. Hi, Carol. All right, then the hat, I'm going to alternate between, I think I'm going to do the dark, pretty and pink. I'm going to do every other one. And then in between, I'm going to do petal pink. Now, Ruth's card that I was looking at, they used peach pie instead of petal pink. Okay, so we're going to cut that, we're going to fussy cut that out, but let's go ahead and finish coloring these things. So this is going to be our Granny Apple Green again. Here's my dark. Just going to kind of do the lines here. And a little bit more towards the base of each of the leaves. And then we'll take the light and blend that all in. I cannot believe that we start school in just a couple of weeks. Oh my goodness. In 2 weeks, it will be our first day of in-service. We have a full day of in-service to do Alice training and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm like, oh my gosh, there is so much I have to do between now and then. I have gotten a lot of work done. I've stayed a little bit longer to get some of the stuff done because I'm going to be on a weight restriction on how much I can lift after my surgery. And so much of my work requires me lifting a lot more than 10 pounds. So I'm going to have to be really careful because I will be very tempted. Let me get rid of that. There we go. All right. Oh, Denise, you're catching me live. Awesome. What time is it in Australia? Oh my goodness. I have 2 cousins that live in Australia. One of them was just home visiting a couple weekends ago. My mom got to go see them. I didn't actually get a chance to see them while they were home. Oh, thanks, Melanie. Yeah. I'm just ready to have it over with at this point. All right. And then, let's stay with all of the Granny Apple Green, and then I will put that away and we'll take out some old olive around the pod. Okay, so again, I'm just going to use a little bit of the dark. All right, and then we'll come and blend that all in with the light. I just think these peas are so darn cute. I love the one where welcome sweet pea for a baby, and it's like a baby and a little baby pea. It's so cute. But I love this one too, where they're got the party hat on and they're blowing. Okay, so you can kind of see how I just did a little bit of blending there. And then I'm going to do the hat the same way. I'm going to do dark, pretty, and pink, and then a little petal pink in between. And again, you're kind of just using very light dots there. And I actually did this mouth in the pink as well. Right, then I'm going to take some old olive and I'm going to use the dark old olive for the top part. And I'm going to use a little bit of dark on these little kind of like folds or whatever those are supposed to be, and then come in and color it in with the light. So we got a couple of different shades of green going on here. And then we got a little bit of pop of pink with it, which I thought made it fun. All right, so we've got all of our stamping, all of our coloring done. We have to fussy cut. Get out of the way. We're going to fussy cut our little pea here. Now again, oh, it's 10 a.m. on Wednesday there. Wow. I would have a big chunk of my day done already at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. I have a lot to do before then to get ready for my little STEM projects yet tonight. So good thing it's not 10 o'clock yet here on Wednesday. All right. So glad you could catch us live. All right. Again, I'm not cutting to mask, but I'm cutting to put that on there. So I do leave a little bit of a white edge around the outside of that. And now I'm going to take a glue or a dimensional, and I'm going to put a dimensional there, and then I'm going to take a mini. I'm going to put it at the top, like where the hat is. And then I'm going to pop that right where I have these leaves. Like that. And then we're going to layer that on our pretty in pink. Look at how that pops on that pretty of pink. You can kind of see the pink in the hat when you put it on there. And then we're going to layer this one as well. So glad I stamped that over. It looks so much better. Like this. All right. And then again, our fold is going to be on the right hand side. So we're going to put whatever's going to be on the front there. And then we're going to put this on the inside. Now there was only one greeting that was birthday. So there we go. Will I be going back to Saturdays for my YouTube lives? Most likely, I think I am, Lori. It's hard when school starts for me to get home and be able to do a video at 6 o'clock on a Tuesday. I'm going to kind of wait and see, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to go to Saturday mornings once I'm not at the cottage. But we'll see, because then I always end up having to change it when I have my card buffets, which is once a month. But so we'll kind of see. Is Saturday mornings better for most people, or Tuesday nights, even if it's in the winter, better for everybody? I guess that's a good question. Which would you prefer? Would you rather have I just keep it on Tuesdays instead of Saturdays? Or do you like the Saturday mornings at 8:30 in the fall and winter months? All right, so that's going to go there. We've got lots of room to write a greeting. Now, if you wanted to stamp a greeting, you could too. Oh, thank you, Carol. Yeah, I'm having my gallbladder removed, so it's not major surgery or anything. Piece of cake is what I'm told. At least I hope so. That's what I'm planning on. All right, so I'm going to do the pink on the outside. And then I'm going to layer it with some of this green. And then we'll do pink again. Look at how easy these cards go together. I did a lot of coloring on here, which takes a lot longer. Nothing is die cut, so you would not, they're kind of a stamp, ink, and paper fold, what I've done, the cards that I've done anyway. I haven't done any. Nothing on here was die cut. All right, and then we're going to take this. We're going to put a strip of tape on either end. Again, you could use tear and tape if you want. 6:30 is usually dinner time. Okay, that's good to know. So this time is not really the best. Couldn't do it earlier. I would have to do it like at a 7 then. So I'm kind of centering this, and then I'm going to go ahead and make sure it's straight and then press it down. And there, what is our little P card with that fold? Isn't he cute? All right, let's go ahead and add a little Wink of Stella to him. We'll make him shine. I think that's fun. And if you wanted to, you could add like a little Wink of Stella here. I did not do that on mine, but you could. I have some gems somewhere. Here they are. These are our shiny sequins. And I'm going to take a couple of these green ones and use those. There's a little bit of an open spot up here, so I'm going to put 2 up there. Oops. Now it's really sticking to my putty. There we go. Oh, Melanie, you're in the North Woods of Wisconsin. That's good to know. I might have missed that. You might have said that earlier and I missed it. So, all right. Hello, Marva. Welcome. I missed you, I think, saying hello to you. If anyone else I missed, I apologize. All right. So, there is our second card with the fun fold. That's going to be our creative challenge for in 2 weeks. So the 20th, my first day of in-service. Let me show you. This was the card that I got from Ruth Norton. It doesn't say where she's from, 505 area code. So she made a different fold. So she used some of the paper that I used in the Halloween one. She used for, and this is a different fold. It's a completely different fold. It's a pop-out fold. I've done this fold before. She didn't put any paper back here, which I did, but I used her idea of using that bigger thing. She used that bigger stamp here and put it underneath, and then she cut that out. I opted not to do that. And again, she used peach pie, and I combined my petal pink, my pretty in pink with some petal pink. So, but I did get a lot of my idea for stamping it from her card. All right, let's add a little bit of our, I've got a lot of designer paper here. I might have just had this might have been what I had left. Let's go ahead and add some adhesive here. And then we'll trim around it. And we've got a cute little card or envelope for with our card. There's some really cute patterns in this paper. If you don't like the ducks on one side, the patterns on the other side are really cute. And this paper is part of that 15% off sale that's going on right now through the end of the month. All right, so there's card number 2 that we did. Here is our card number 1. Here's our envelope that we did with the little pumpkins on it. All right, so this is our creative challenge. So I will be taking a picture of these. I will be posting them on Facebook. So if you're not on Facebook, haven't found me on Facebook, it is Create with Sarah, is my Facebook business page. I will post it there. And then it'll say in the comments, if you post a picture of a card that you made with this fold, you can be entered into a drawing to win the bundle of your choice. If you are not a Facebook user, what you can do is you can email me the picture and I'll post it on Facebook for you and let people know that you submitted it. My email again is createwithsarahllc@gmail.com. So you could just go ahead and email it to me and I could post it for you as well. Has to be submitted by noon on the 20th, Tuesday the 20th. And that evening I will do a drawing and the winner can pick the bundle of their choice. So such a fun fold. I loved this fold. And again, I didn't use any die cuts on here. I just used stamp. I did some coloring. I used some stamps for backgrounds. And that was it for these. But you could add some die cuts and stuff on yours if you want as well. Yeah, I can put a link there, Melanie. I will put a link to my Facebook page in the comment. Actually, I'll put it in the description part. Once I have it up, I will take a link to that Facebook post and I will put it in the description so that you can add it there. That's a really good idea. Thanks for saying that. Okay, let me turn my light back on. And I'll come back to you. All right, here I am. All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for the prayers, Betty. I will be fine. I'll post something and let you know that I'm fine. My mom will take really good care of me. She's taking me to the hospital that morning and she'll stay with me and then I'm going to stay at their house on Friday night because I can't stay alone. So, but I will be fine. I think that is everything. So hopefully I'll be back here next Tuesday. I know that my friend Debbie, who's on here sometime, had the same surgery, and she said it was really hard for her to like press down and do the stamping because of some of where everything kind of fell and was resting on hers. So I'll play it by ear, but I hope to be back stamping again next week, Tuesday. If not, it'll be 2 weeks from Tuesday or 2 weeks from today. And that will be when the creative challenge will be due. So give me about 10 or 15 minutes to put that post up on Facebook. And then you can start stamping and posting anytime after that. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And those of you that won prizes last week, I think a couple of you were on here. They did not get in the mail until I think it was Saturday. Things were just crazy. So I did get them in the mail. I think it was on Saturday that they went out. So if you didn't get them yet today, you should be getting them in the next day or so, depending on how long it takes for the mail. So but I will try to get these out in the mail tomorrow already. So except for Kay, if you are on here, you are on here. Yours is coming in the mail on Thursday. And then once I get it in the mail on Thursday, I will put it out to you. So, all right, that is it for today. You guys all have a great rest of the week. I hope you can find some time to be creative. I hope that this inspires you to get your cardstock and your paper out and do some stamping. So have a wonderful week. Thanks again for joining me, and bye-bye.